Hi, welcome to this video going over pharmacy laws and regulations. This video will go over the laws and regulations concerning controlled substances, specifically the documentation for these substances. So the first thing we need to go over is the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970. So this act established that pharmacies need to keep up-to-date, precise, accurate documentation of all controlled substances. So because of this, documentation goes into every aspect of controlled substances, especially the controlled or Schedule II drugs. From ordering to destruction, there's documentation that follows controlled substances everywhere they go. Perfect. So first thing we need to talk about in documentation for controlled substances is ordering these controlled substances. We need to get our hands on them in order to do anything else with them. So for Schedule II drugs, the pharmacist must fill out a DEA 222 form. Now remember that the DEA 222 form is the one for controlled or Schedule II drugs. The pharmacist will need to fill out in order to order these drugs. So there's 3 copies. One of each goes to the suppliers, the DEA, and then one that's kept by the pharmacy for their own records. You can order up to 10 controlled substances at a time, but no more than that, and it is only valid for 60 days after the form has been filled out. And it must be signed by a pharmacist that is registered with the DEA. Now for all other scheduled drugs, the 3 through 5, they just are ordered through the same method as any other non-controlled medications. The processors or anything that way. You just follow the same processes as you would anything else. Now, after we've ordered the drugs, now we have to talk about receiving those Schedule II specifically, but any scheduled drugs. So Schedule II specifically, the pharmacist in charge will go through each item and drug received and compare it and verify it against the order, that DEA 222 form that was filled out, and the order form must stay in the pharmacy for at least 2 years. So they have to verify that's accurate as well as keep a record for at least 2 years after that. Now, for the Schedule 3 through 5 drugs, there's no special requirements for receiving these drugs, although a lot of pharmacies will make sure that they verify the order compared to what they actually got, make sure there's nothing unaccounted for, and you just follow the same procedure that the pharmacy has for the non-controlled drugs or substances. In the event that you need to return any controlled substances to the supplier, the pharmacy may return any controlled substances to the supplier. However, if there is a Schedule II drug or substance that's in that return, the pharmacist in charge is going to need to fill out another DEA 222 form. So in the event of controlled substances being lost or stolen, even if it's just suspected theft, the pharmacy needs to go through a process, and first and foremost, they need to notify the local law enforcement and the DEA immediately. The pharmacist is then going to have to fill out what's called a DEA 106 form. That's 106. In the event of that theft, it details the drugs or substances that are missing or involved in the theft. This form will then be sent to the DEA, and a copy of it will also be kept in the pharmacy for their own record. And remember that you don't need to do this if you just break a few tablets or capsules or you spill some of the liquid. This is for loss or theft. Last bit of documentation that we will talk about for the laws and regulations for this is destroying controlled substances. Sometimes you compound a drug that is the wrong dosage or you made an error on. Sometimes the delivery driver brings back a drug that the patient refused. The drug could be expired, unwanted, or otherwise. Any of those real examples. You can destroy the controlled substances, but there must be authorization of the DEA, and the pharmacy must fill out another form, the DEA 41 form. This form is going to include the date that you destroyed it, details of the destroyed drugs or substances, including the NDC, strength, dosage form, quantity, and the name of the drugs, the location that you destroyed it, how you destroyed it, usually burning it, and the signature of 2 witnesses. Now you need to check your state law, as some states allow for the pharmacy technician to be a witness as well. All right, I hope that was a good refresher for you, or maybe even a quick study session. Below I have some resources, some links to additional playlists about pharmacy technician laws, pharmacy technician drugs you need to know, so on and so forth. One playlist has me doing the voiceover, the other one doesn't, in case you don't want to hear my voice and want to just study yourself. I also have included here the Quizlet that I use. It has all the resources, all the drugs, generic brand name, easy ways to memorize them. So go ahead and check that out. I'll have all these links in the description as well. If this did help you, please give a like and subscribe for future videos. And if there's anything you do want me to cover, please give me a shout out. And lastly, that QR code on the side there, that's just directly to my channel. So hopefully you can go find stuff you like, find stuff that'll help you out. And if that has, please again, consider subscribing. Thanks.